Good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 p.m. on a Sunday, and I'm drinking Folgers out of a French press, and I'm Connor Shaw. I wanted to just chat for a while because there's a lot going on right now in there, and I figured we could all just use a bit of time to relax. Raz and Amy, thank you both very much for subscribing. 23 months and 27 months respectively. Holy shit. Thank you both so much. Let me get the music at a pretty reasonable volume. We're gonna be listening to it the whole time. I'm listening to the Kind Words soundtrack on Steam. I'd very highly recommend Kind Words. Very relaxing, therapeutic game. Hey Lamau, you had an awful past couple of days at work, freaking heck. Sorry to hear that, especially right now. You all can hear me, right? Just making sure, because we've had issues in the past. Cool. Alright. Just making sure. Anyways, let's just talk. Let's just talk for a while. So, first of all, I got a new chair. And it's not as audacious as the last one. It was pretty wild, that one. I got that one because it was the one my sister had. And it was fine. It was kind of cheap, but like overall it did the job. But this one cost about the same amount, 150 I believe, and is so much more comfortable. Oh my goodness. My back feels so much better. And this might be a feature or a curse depending on who you are, but it doesn't lean back at all, so it's making my posture a lot better too, which I appreciate. Thank you. I'm glad people like the way I'm dressed. Having money to buy a new chair, good joke. Yeah, I invested a bit into my studio from what I made from YouTube, because there were some upgrades I very desperately needed, especially if I'm going to be spending most of my time here because of quarantine, which is part of what I wanted to talk about. Anyone thinking that this whole thing is going to be over and done with in a matter of days, you're living in the past of about a month ago. We're going to be here for a while. Let me turn off this so you're not seeing the reflection in my glasses. In fact, let me just yeah, actually, you know what, that's fine. That collar's a choker, and yes, it is tight, but it's alright. Don't mind. Whew. You think it's gonna be here till the end of summer? At least, absolutely. But I don't think that this is going to be a massive blip on the radar of how life progresses from here on forward. Like, obviously, it's going to affect people for years and years to come, from lives lost and from work lost potentially, from just the idea of having to be stuck inside for so long. And it's opened a lot of people's eyes to how necessary a lot of people's work is that we take for granted and paid minimum wage for, like working in a grocery store, pharmacies, things like that, and especially delivery drivers, and how much we basically take them for granted. But I am really sick and tired of hearing people say this is a good thing, it's a blessing in disguise, because nothing is worth the amount of stress and health loss and damage and life lost from this stupid virus. You don't think you could ever wear chokers, even like anything touching your neck? I feel that. At first it was a little uncomfortable, but I'm getting used to it. I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now we were still here. I trust science to find a cure quite literally as soon as humanly possible. But it's a matter of getting a vaccine that is readily available, easy enough to produce, and works for a majority of people enough to create herd immunity. Because, as it stands, seems really out of the question. People calling it a blessing, like in the movie Parasite. I actually watched Parasite recently, finally. It was fucking excellent. Especially as someone who grew up very poor and is now, I'd say, straddling the line between poor and middle class, but doing my best. It was creepy as hell. Oh yeah, there's always gonna be people who like anti-vaxxers. They aren't even worth debating. They're not worth giving a platform. Y'all remember how we spent like about a decade and a half debating with scientists versus like podcasters and radio show hosts about whether climate change was real or not, while it was actively destroying us and we were actively destroying ourselves? Remember that shit? If nothing else, that proves that it's not worth giving these people who are generating nothing but bad faith arguments the time of day. It doesn't matter. If they don't want to get the vaccine, that's their problem. It becomes an issue if they are barring others from getting vaccine, like if they have kids who they're refusing to vaccinate. That's a massive issue. And it also becomes a problem if enough of them don't participate that it's impossible to create herd immunity. Is it horde or herd immunity? It's herd immunity, right? Where people who can't get a vaccine for one reason or another because they aren't physically healthy enough, their immune system can't cope with it, they're allergic to something in the vaccine, any number of reasons, they need to be protected from the virus by making sure that everyone else around them doesn't have it and can't carry it. Virus aside, how have you been enjoying your PS4 so far? I still want to talk about this because it's kind of the whole theme here, but yeah, I own a PS4 now. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, courtesy of my sister Marina, who you know from the Phoenix Wright streams and the Twilight Princess streams, and soon enough, the Shadow of the Colossus streams, because that's one of the games we're going to play together. She really has wanted to show me Shadow of the Colossus, so we're going to stream that together at some point. We were playing Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2, which were all on Steam. Love them, absolutely fantastic games. Yakuza 0 is probably my favorite game of all time now. And she wanted to keep playing so bad that she bought me a PS4. So now we own the Yakuza collection, and we've been playing through Yakuza 3. In the Netherlands, you were supposed to have King's Day tomorrow, celebrating the King's birthday. Instead of strolling around the city, your parents decided to create a huge online game for you and your family. Oh, that's kind of cool, actually. Hell yeah. Herd immunity, yes. Thank you. That's rad. Thank you very much, Dalamau. Pardon me, but do you go by a different name? Because I saw people calling you a different name. I just want to make sure, because nobody has the same name in the Discord that they do in the stream. So I'm going to do my best to remember. Quip. Alright, I'll do my best to remember that. Thank you very much. I heard an estimate that it would take about 3 months to develop a vaccine. Again, it depends. I'm going to use my sister as an example. She is allergic to a good amount of meat product, and some of that is used in flu vaccines sometimes, and it makes it more difficult for her to get a flu vaccine every year. You have to make sure that it's not something she's going to be allergic to. Dill, 100 bits. Thank you, Dill. If you get interested in Yakuza 0, it's free on Game Pass. Is it any good? Yes, it's fantastic. Make sure you have a controller to play it, though. An Xbox controller, recommended. It also does a PlayStation controller. It has the inputs. It is, if you like, it's a very shallow net to cast to say if you like Shenmue, you'll like this, but it's got a lot of dumb action mixed with genuine heartfelt moments and characters, and the combat feels really nice and there's a bunch of fucking mini games. I hope you're good at Rad Racer. It's a good game. You have Xbox Game Pass, so I hope it'll be using Xbox controller. Well, I mean, it's also on PC, mind you. Did you play the Artifact update for Risk of Rain 2? Yes, and I loved it. The artifact that lets you choose which items you get is extremely fun. It makes the game like a lot more fun with friends when you can actually choose what kind of ridiculous loadouts you're going to do. I did a loadout where I had, I think, 30 Paul's goat hooves and 20 energy drinks. So I was basically playing a surf map the entire time because I would just go flying and then scoot around the map. Yakuza 0 is pretty well optimized, but it might not still run on your computer. Are you thinking about playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake? No, because I've heard that it makes some changes to the story from the original, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but as someone who hasn't played the original, it seems like it'd be a really weird entry point. So I think I'd rather play the original and then play the remake at some point. And also, it's a bit expensive to buy right now. Max price, and it's sold out in a lot of places. By the way, I cut the back of my own hair because it was starting to really bother me. I was getting like a mullet situation back there. It's not good, so fair warning. This is gonna suck. Hopefully you can see it. It's uneven as hell as far as I know. It's hard for me to tell, obviously, because it's the back of my own head, but yeah. I'll have to look back at the VOD to see that. Detroit Become Human I'm not that interested in because the writer is a piece of shit, as far as I know anyways. But Spider-Man, yes, I own Spider-Man, and I am probably gonna play that at some point on stream. Maybe I'll just play it by myself. I've been playing Gravity Rush recently. That one is extremely fun. Hey! Siren! Okay, Siren gifted 5 subs to TV, Melly, Eric, Shape, and Deathy. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Siren, for the subscription. Holy shit. God damn. Yes, I actually have Square. I've seen the Half-Life VR Self-Aware series. I haven't watched the series fully, but I've seen a lot of clips on Twitter. I didn't really get it at first, but the more I watched it, the less I cared about getting it, and the more it was just fun to watch. You try to separate games from their creators. The way I see it is I don't have enough time to play every game that I want to, so I can decide which games I do want to play and which games I don't want to play. I feel the same way about watching series too, where like there's so much shit I want to watch that it's easy enough for me to separate myself from bad people. But I don't think it inherently makes you bad to play a game from a kind of crappy person because the game is good, because there are a lot of other people who are in the process of making it. I think it becomes different if it's like a very single dev passion project sort of thing. Like if it turns out Toby Fox was a piece of shit, I'd feel weird about playing Deltarune, but no LSL, I'm not. Gravity Rush is a game I remember playing a lot on the Vita. You loved it, but you never got around to finishing it, even after the remaster released. The remaster is weird, because it definitely feels like it was meant to be played on the Vita. But the more I play it, the more I stop caring, and I'm just having fun. Make gravity go whee! And there's a fly buzzing around me, this is killing me. I heard good things about The Witness. I don't know anything about the dev, though. Did you get Persona 5? No, not yet. I'm gonna, when the price drops, get Persona 5 Royal. My problem with Persona 5 is just Atlus's continued bullshit. Atlus's continued transphobic and homophobic bullshit. And as far as I know, they censored the super homophobic scene in Persona 5 to make it either, I don't know the exact details. I don't know if it's transphobic or if they made the characters drag instead, something like that. That like they made it problematic in a different direction, and it's just like fucking god. That said, the games are good. and like the characters have a lot of potential. It's just so annoying when they're so consistently bad at anything that isn't straight white dudes. Yeah, I'm gonna play Gravity Rush 2. I'm probably gonna make a video about Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2 because I think they're underrated. Concrete Genie is another one I picked up that I'm gonna play. That should be arriving today, actually. And that one looks like it'd be straight up my alley, so I'm interested. You want to order a pizza outside, but I'm short $5, and your mom isn't giving you more money. I mean, begging for cash is probably not the best way to go about it. That's my job. You played Celeste recently and loved it. Next video is gonna be about Celeste. The script is done. I got the thumbnail done. I just need to record the narration and edit it. I got all the footage recorded. That's probably gonna be out early next week. So yeah, next video is it's not a review. It is a kind of, it's gonna be a shorter video, probably gonna be under 10 minutes, about just all the little things that make that game so good. So. Next console you're gonna pick up is a PS5. It's actually retro compatible with the PS4. We'll see. I wouldn't hold your breath for that, honestly. Oh, the OST for Celeste is absolutely fantastic. How are you liking Animal Crossing? I'm playing it a little less recently, just because I've also been working and doing some tidying up around here. Oh shit, 400 bits from Dill. Just noticed I wasn't number 1 in bits. Can't have that. Alright, buddy. Thank you very much. Well, we now own, over the course of a couple of years, we have an Xbox One, we have a Switch, and PS4, and I have my PC here, so I've got everything I need. I don't have an Ouya, so I'm very limited on those Ouya exclusives, but other than that, you've been playing New Horizons almost every day, which is surprising given how quickly I got bored with New Leaf. For me, it's been mostly going in to do my daily stuff, and then occasionally I get a wave of inspiration that hits me to do something. Like late last night, almost 3 in the morning, I went, you know what, I want to make like a Stonehenge hangout spot, and I did that, and it was fun, and it's cool, and it looks nice. You gave up because you didn't know how to get star fragments. One night you got 15 shooting stars. Okay, yeah, so you know now. You wish on the shooting stars by aiming the camera up and then pressing A while not holding anything. It is a scary, scary time right now to be around. I was gonna say to be self-employed, but there's a lot of people who are arguing it's a great time to be self-employed. It's not great. It's not necessarily bad either. It's just not good. Like, it's much worse to have a job that you have been laid off from or let go from because of COVID. And the security I have in knowing that I can keep doing what I'm doing without much interruption is nice. That said, this mentality I had, somehow I was going to be more productive while the virus is going on. Don't know where I got that idea from, but Jesus Christ, that ain't happening. About a week before everything started going to shit, I started looking for a job, and I went up pretty quickly. Yeah, I know that feel. Like, looking for alternate forms of work. You'd say the virus has made us more lazy? I wouldn't say lazy. I think just depressed. I think a lot of people are just, like, overly stressed. Not overly stressed, and that implies that the stress is unwarranted. Just, like, very stressed. Hang on, I'm gonna light a candle. I wish I had a proper candle lighter. Gotta do this shit instead. Don't try that at home, kids. That's a bad way to light candles. Get a proper candle lighter with a long neck. It's just a candle, everyone. It's sea salt. Managed to pick up some YouTube videos and started on a program. Hey, that's good. Picking up a new skill. I really want to pick the piano back up, but like I'm not gonna spend money on a piano, like on like a Casio or whatever. Because there's other things I would rather spend money on right now, like rent and more improvements for my office here. You would continue Twitch streaming, but you always lose motivation quickly. It's really easy to lose motivation, especially right now when it feels like a lot of things are more pointless than ever. The way I see it is that if you don't feel like doing it, it's not gonna be good, and trying to force yourself to do it anyways will just make it worse. So if you don't feel like doing it, take a break, and then you might get a wave of inspiration that hits you, and then you'll feel like doing it, and you'll be all the better for doing it. I've been editing a lot more shit posts recently, just for the sake of it. I was going to do an April Fool's video, where it was gonna be an edit together of all of the Twitter shit posts I've made, and I was gonna frame it like it was a Maria stream announcements compilation, but I didn't have enough to really justify it, and also I didn't really think April Fool's was something I really wanted to fucking do this year, so. Working on fanfics, nice. I gotta get back to my book. It's been a while since I've written it, but like my entire perspective of life has been shifted a bit since COVID. So I might be pretty bad at writing it now. I don't know. It's just hard to fucking do right now. It's hard to just. I've been waking up later and later in the day. Thankfully, Animal Crossing, Daisy May, you have to buy turnips from her before noon, because otherwise I wouldn't have been up before noon today. But it's been harder and harder for me to actually wake up in a good amount of time, because it feels almost pointless. I like going for walks in the morning. I like walking to the store. I like getting out, getting some fresh air, going and sitting down in a cafe and relaxing. But I can't do any of that shit right now. And that's like petty. That is petty shit compared to the people who are losing work, or who can't get medication, or who can't go and visit their families because of this. That is petty shit. So the fact that I'm stressed over something as stupid as that goes to show how intensely stressful this is for people who have much more pressing, dire things that are afflicted because of COVID. My sister, for instance, she was on track to get surgery. I won't go into too many details to help deal with a lot of pain that she has, but that got canceled because it's a non-essential surgery, and until COVID is over, that's probably going to be where it's at, which is fucking horrible. Like I was saying, until COVID's over. It's not going to be over for a while, but there will be a cutoff point where it's over enough for some things to get back on track as herd immunity gets built up. I like waking up early. I like waking up at 8, but I can't do it every day anymore, especially because like my roommates stay up until like 4, so it's hard for me to go to sleep so much earlier and then not have as much time to hang out with them. This fucking fly, I swear to God. Where are you at? Where are you at, buddy? Go over to the candle. Damn it. This is a hell of a song. But are you the only one who puts an alarm for like 9 or 10 and ends up going back to sleep? Nah, Kraz, I do that too. I do that all the time. I set my alarm for 10:30 today, and then I ended up waking up at like 11:50 and quickly buying turnips. I'm glad I'm up now. I'm happy once I'm up. Relatively speaking, at any rate, but I have an alarm on my phone. You haven't found anything inspiring. You could try to find some inspiration for art by watching Bob Ross on Twitch. I find consuming more media is always a good inspiration for art. Like, I wasn't sure what to draw for a while, and then I played Gravity Rush, and I'm like, oh, Cat, obviously. She's fucking great. I love her. I'm gonna draw her. Not a lot of your life has been affected by the virus since you didn't go out much before all this either. I think people who say that, I think that there are a lot of little ways it's been affected that you may not realize. Just the difference between I don't go out very often or I can't go out is a lot in your head, but also just purely stressful. Like, it is terrifying, the idea of not being able to go outside versus just not wanting to. Sorry. Itchy. This fucking fly won't leave me alone. I've been looking for a new single-player or two-player co-op game to play with your boyfriend on Xbox One. Any ideas? I have a good idea. I'll get to that in just a second, Dill. Amy, your dad is supportive of you being trans, and treated you as normal as ever. That's so good. Excellent. That's so good to hear. Dill, if you haven't played A Way Out with them, that is an excellent game that's on Xbox, and I believe it's on Game Pass right now. I might be wrong. But I would very highly recommend. Oh, you have? Okay, let me think then. Other really good co-op games, co-op experiences. I mean, the Gears of War franchise is solid. I think Gears 5 is still on Game Pass. It's like a lot more emotional than you might expect it to be. You could try to get back into writing, but while your ideas might be good, you're fucking awful when it comes to the details, and that kind of steals your motivation. I find that the best thing for me to do is to just jot down everything I want to say and then go back afterwards and then fill in the gaps. Just get the idea out there and then go through afterwards, especially if you take a break for a while and then come back and read it and go, okay, hang on, some of this makes sense, but it's missing a couple of dots, couple of connecting dots. You want to play XCOM Chimera? Austin's been playing that recently. It looks excellent. I have not played the XCOM series myself. I should get to it at some point. The only game like XCOM that I've played is Invisible Ink from Clay? Yeah, that's it. Clay. Make like Don't Starve. And Invisible Ink was excellent. I know I'd like XCOM. It's just, again, a matter of getting to it. Hey, your food's here. Nice. I had leftover pizza, like leftover fucking $2 grocery store pizza, and a Diet Coke for breakfast because my life is in shambles. But I'm drinking coffee now and feeling fine. Why are you wearing a choker? Because it looks nice. I think another problem was that you wanted to write a book or something like that. Well, you've never read a book, so you have no fucking idea how to write a good book. I'm trying to think of books I'd recommend you read. I mean, I would recommend you read... It might be dated or cheesy of me to say Fault in Our Stars. Absolutely Remarkable Thing is my favorite book. I'd recommend that. Good Omens is a fucking masterclass on creatively dictating your writing. I would highly recommend reading Good Omens if you want to read a book that has a very interesting way of telling a story. Okay, that's creepy. Your choker's cute. Where'd you get it? Unfortunately, I just got it on Amazon. I don't like ordering everything from Amazon, although recently it's much more difficult to not do that. Here, I'll grab a link to it if nothing else, though. Give me just a second. Alright, that's... Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna look away so you can't see the reflection of my shit in my glasses. And I'll also see if my, package arrived. No, it hasn't. Okay. Alright, I'm not wearing lipstick. My lips are just like this. There's the choker. It's actually good. It's pretty cheap, like, cost-wise, but I don't mind the quality at all. But no, I'm not wearing lipstick. My lips just look like this. Everyone asks that. Everyone asks that. In real life, too. My lips just look like this. Smile. Amazon Smile is Amazon's bullshit way of avoiding taxes, but you should still do it anyways because it does support charities. Basically, you can choose a charity that you want some of your purchase to go to, and Amazon will kick some of the money that you spent on whatever you buy over to the charity you choose, provided you purchase while using a smile.amazon link. My link is for the Trevor Project, which helps LGBT youth out, giving them support lines and just information needed. Why do the indie games always have good-ass soundtracks? I think it just started as a coincidence, and then the more it happened, it kind of became a staple of, like, if you want to be noticed as an indie game, you gotta have a good soundtrack. But either way, I don't mind. It's fucking choice. You were in the middle of trying to get on HRT after waiting over a year and a half when quarantine stuff started, and your endocrinologist, I believe that's pronouncing that, is shut down, from what you can tell. Yeah. I was in talks with my therapist to potentially get on HRT. I don't want to transition fully. I just want to be less masculine, basically. I want to be more androgynous, and because I'm very much non-binary, I'm very comfy with that, but that all went out the window. I also plan on making a video about Cave Story, specifically about how you should play the original Cave Story and not Cave Story Plus. Look forward to that. It's probably going to be the next video after the Celeste video, unless a game comes out that I want to review between now and then. Cave Story is free. If you just Google it, let me actually see if I can find a link really quick. Cave Story is free. Let me make sure this is the right link really quick. Just want to make sure I'm not sending you guys to some sort of stupid bullshit virus or whatever. Saw someone tweet about it recently, just double checking. Not that. Just double checking that this is a good link and it's not going to. Okay, well, I can't find it, but either way, this looks like the right link. Cave Story. So, the deal with Cave Story, I'm gonna make a video about this, is, the publisher, Nicholas, is really abusive and horrible and basically tricked the developer of Cave Story out of a lot of the proceeds and credit that they should have gotten. So Cave Story Plus is published by Nicholas, and it fucking blows. Like, it's a good port, but supporting Nicholas sucks. Meanwhile, the original Cave Story, which still plays fucking great, is free. So, there you go. I'm gonna make a video all about that. The video is not so much going to be about shitting on Nicholas as it is talking about why you should play the original instead and showcasing it. We're almost through the soundtrack of Kind Words. I'll have to swap to some other music. I love Don't Starve. I get bored of it a little too quickly to play through, like, a long period of time, but I've played quite a bit of it. Crunch is weird. It's actively bad, but also it's You're gonna have to let me explain this after I say this, but the way I see it is that crunch isn't necessarily the problem, but crunch culture is. Because you can... I got that fucking fly at long last. Jesus, there we go. You can stop a studio from going on crunch, but then the game very well might go under. What needs to change is the standard of how quickly a game is expected to release from announcement and from the start of development. And how quickly content is expected afterwards. Like, the expectation has to change. So crunch culture has to go away. Like how studios rely on crunch. Exactly. Like, the expectation has to go away before crunch itself can go away. Because just letting a game doesn't get rid of crunch, and just telling a studio to take your time on it. You see how many people crack jokes and bullshit about how long it takes Valve to do anything? Like, fucking... What do you want? If you want a studio to work at their own pace, cool. Don't make fun of them for it. Like, it is one thing for how long it can take them to do shit, but it's another thing when you just actively make fun of a studio for taking their sweet time with something. High game sale expectations. I feel like games are often victims of overhype. I think Valve actually did a pretty solid job with the release of Half-Life Alyx, where they announced it a couple months in advance, and basically went like, hey, this is another Half-Life game. It's gonna be VR, so it takes place in between the two. Cool. Here you go. Here it is. Enjoy. And like, they were pretty chill about the whole thing. They weren't like, it's here, the third one. We did it. Ah! Like they were pretty. Oh, there's a second fly. Son of a bitch. They were pretty chill about it. I'm worried that we're gonna get bugs in our flat because usually an exterminator comes by every couple of months to help deal with that, because it's a cheap discount flat. But that's not happening right now, obviously. Respring, you get carpenter ants. Ugh. I bought some, like, natural bug repellent stuff that I'm gonna spray around, like, cracks in the windows and the like. You bought a nice handbag yesterday, but your mom can't figure out where to put the shoulder strap. What? When I was younger, do y'all remember fucking ThinkGeek? They still technically exist, but as a subsidiary of GameStop. But, I had a Portal Messenger laptop bag. I loved that shit. Oh my god. It was the coolest looking shit. ThinkGeek was like a nerd merchandise store. They had some good shit. They actually had some good shit. These panels back here, all these panels, these were all from ThinkGeek. You can't even buy these anymore. And they're nice. They're pretty good. But, like, they also had some really stupid crap, so, like, 50-50. ThinkGeek doesn't even exist anymore. It exists through GameStop. GameStop just sells their shit. This is a shadow cast by a choker that looks really weird. But, ew, GameStop. GameStop is not great, but that's not as horrible as people make it out to be. That said, their bullshit about, we're an essential service, don't shut us down, government, like, that was horseshit, absolute horseshit. But, I got my PS4 and and most of the games from GameStop because they had a deal where you get 5 used games for $10 each for console when you buy the console. So that's what my sister and I did. So I got Spider-Man, Last of Us Remastered. What else? We got a shitty wrestling game, which we're gonna do a stream of at some point, so look forward to that. Tekken 7, because Alex wanted it. And looking over. Oh, and Yakuza 6, that's right. And then we bought the other Yakuza games separately. WWE 2K20, yep. Fun fact, by the way, my the SD card I got for my Switch, the micro SD card, it ended up being part of like a counterfeit bunch that don't play too nicely with the Switch and can potentially be faulty. So that's cool. You better show us Gumshoe. Don't worry, it's gumming. I've never played Tekken. I'll give it a go at some point. I'll play with Alex, but no, that's fine. I got the micro SD card. It's still working. It's just at some point it might go kaput, and then we'll have to figure it out. It's gonna mine Bitcoin from my Switch. Oh no! Cooking Mama, how dare you? But yeah, I know streams have been more sporadic recently, and I know videos have been sparse, but listen, you gotta cut me some slack. It's been fucking stressful. I have a couple of videos that are like partially done, and one that's very nearly done. So I've got shit on the way. We're also so fucking close to 100,000 subscribers. It's insane. Let me take a look really quick. Let me go take a look at how close we are. 98K, 98,000 subscribers. We're so fucking close. Also, Therapy Games video finally hit 10K views. I appreciate that. Thank you all. Half-Life Alyx review is getting some more attention as well. But yeah, new video should be out soon enough, and I'm hoping I can hit 100,000 subscribers like by the end of the year. I'm getting them kind of slowly now. I think I just need to have one video that takes off at some point. Like the last video I had that really took off was Portal Stories video, which I'm still pretty proud of. I'm happy with that when that video came out. I appreciate the devs reached out to me too and were like, hey, thank you for talking about our game. Anything special for the big milestone? We have some ideas for stream stuff, mainly to do with the Ace Attorney series, just like fun joke things. But as for YouTube, I'll figure it out. I'll figure something out. Listen, you gotta cut me some slack. It's stressful. Might play the Portal game soon since you finished Half-Life 2. Good idea. They're fun. Yeah, it's that Cooking Mama game is not actually a Bitcoin miner. It's just scary and bad and weird and dumb and shouldn't be played. Do you know what would be a cool stream? What do you think would be a cool stream? Keep talking, nobody explodes. We streamed that once, actually, incidentally, because we were trying, my sister and I were trying to stream, Hustlecat, but Discord screen share was broken. We couldn't get it to work, so we played Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes instead, because it's like one of the few games that you can play with people over a call that you specifically do not want to screen share. No, it was like a couple months ago. Anyways, Ken, thank you very much for the 500 bits. Any tips for a new streamer? Asking for a friend. The most important piece of technology a new streamer can have is a decent microphone. I would recommend a Blue Snowball. I think they're about $60, and that is like pretty much like the Blue Yeti is the meme mic. The Blue Snowball is like about where USB mic quality peaks. You don't really need to get anything nicer than that when it comes to USB mics, and if you want anything nicer, you have to go to XLR, which is much more expensive. And then beyond that, wanting to stream is so important. If you are doing it because you feel like you'll get popular, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You have to do it because you want to have fun. Just playing games and chatting. And something I did early on to help myself is I literally had sticky notes on my monitor of things I wanted to talk about on stream. Like just stories I wanted to tell, anecdotes, things like that. Just like reminders like, hey, keep talking. Keep talking so nobody explodes, and also just keep talking in general. Keep the conversation moving. Especially early on, if you don't have a very active chat, you need to be able to have a way to keep talking. So, Just any reminders you can give yourself. We did some old Jackbox streams. I don't know if any of them are saved VODs. You just had a nice nap. Drago, welcome aboard. For now, you think you have a good headset mic, but I'll check that one out. Yeah, a good mic is definitely a very, very high quality entry point. I'm trying to think of other tips. Try to stream things that people could only get from you, whether it be your take on something, your personality on something, or a game that a lot of other people are streaming that people would be interested in watching a stream of. Like, add something to it. For me, it's dumb running jokes. That's our thing with the Ace Attorney streams. Lots of people streamed Ace Attorney, but you know what those people didn't have? A big cast of people to voice the entire thing, and lots of dumb running jokes. They probably did. But, I'm almost out of my coffee, so we're getting close to running the stream. Dumb running jokes everyone loves, like this is how we get out of the map. Which we have an emote for, daily reminder. Don't waste your ammo, don't make jokes, and all of these and more on the new Connor Shaw stream highlight compilation reel. You fly motherfucker. Damn it! Missed. SMH. I mean, it probably doesn't help that the carpet's a fucking wreck. We haven't had a vacuum cleaner for about a month now because our vacuum cleaner caught fire a while back, so we stopped using that one. And then I borrowed our neighbor's vacuum cleaner one time a couple months ago to vacuum up here. I bought a vacuum cleaner and it needs to arrive. That has yet to arrive, but I'll probably be less worried about flies and bugs when the carpets are actually fucking clean. Streaming Tomb Raider on the highest difficulty, which is something I try to do with every game. But one game I can't wait to stream is Mass Effect Andromeda. I think that game was underrated as far as I know. Your webcam is shaking whenever you put your hand on your desk. Yep. Because my webcam is on my desk. I'm about out of coffee now, so I think it's almost time we close up. Drago! Here's a tip. Stay inside the map. Something back rooms. Quarantine yourself. Do not leave the map. Do not get outside of the map. Quarantine now. Drago, thank you very kindly. I appreciate that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream now. I know you just got here, but sorry about that. But I'm out of coffee, I'm out of things to talk about. I just wanted to let you all know, shit sucks right now. It's okay to feel stressed. It's gonna be okay. Thank you all so much for coming by. I hope that this helped you in some way or another. I hope this was relaxing for some people. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you all take care of yourselves, take care of everyone around you that you can. Stay inside, wash your hands, stay safe. 1,000 bits from Dill. Love you, Connor. Stay inside, stay safe. Exactly. Listen to Dill, everybody. Thank you so much, and thank you all very much for watching. Have a good day. We're gonna try and do some more Apollo streams soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully. Take care, everyone. Wash your hands. Take it easy.